Hello and welcome to Sketchy Pass Shop. If you're new to the channel, you're very welcome here. Glad you're with me. Hey, today we're going to be looking at fixing a car tire. Clearly there's a hole. I filled this tire. Noticed it was low. This is on my wife's car. Noticed it was low 2 days ago. I filled it up to the designated pressure, and today it's down to 10 pounds. It's only been about a day and a half, 2 days. So it is clearly got an issue. So what we're going to do, we're going to pop the tire off, and I'm going to show you how to patch a car tire. Here we go. Alright, so tire is off the car, and what I need to do now is find the leak. I was kind of hoping it'd be obvious. I spun around looking for a nail, anything of that sort. Can't find anything, nothing obviously sticking in the tire. So the next step is to take a little bit of soapy water, and if you find the leak with this, if you hit the leak, you'll know it. It'll start bubbling. Now, I mean, I know you see the little suds action, but when we find the leak, it's going to be obvious. I don't see it yet. No, we got a little something here. Oh, there it is. Right there. There's our leak. You can see it. As we clean that off, give it a little squirt. You can see it bubbling out. That's our leaky spot right there. Alright, so this is a kit you can get from a lot of different places. This particular one happened to come from O'Reilly, but you can get them from lots of different places. And this one's actually a few years old, so I don't know exactly what they sell now, but it comes with a couple of very important components. One is the actual patches. These are the pieces we're going to actually patch the tire with. You're going to need those. It comes with two different tools in it. One of them is what you use to insert the patch, and I'll show you how to use that in just a second. One is a rasp. This is what you're going to use. Actually, believe it or not, you're going to expand the hole just a little bit with this guy. And then it comes with actual rubber cement. So if you ever thought rubber cement was just for doing papers, that's something that's sort of a side effect, but it is actually made for gluing rubber together, and that includes these patches and the tires. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, so if you remember, this is where our hole is, and what I do then is I take this rasp tool. You just hold it in your hand like that, and you just want to work that in and out of there, and depending on where the hole is and how big the hole is, that can be hard to do, to push this tool in and out. Most of the time they'll look like this, kind of like a file. Alright, let's get you a little closer there. You can see it looks like a file, but I happen to have two of these, and my other one looks more like a corkscrew, but it does the same thing. This one's actually a little smaller, and so it's a little easier to get in and out, but you know, every kit's a little different, and they make them from different companies. Bell, Slime, there's lots of different companies that make these, but we got our hole cleaned out, and that's important. You got to get the foreign object out, and then you got to get it clean. So now we're ready for our patch. I find these a little easier to work with bare hands. I typically wear gloves. If you've watched my channel at all, you know that. I'm a big fan of safety, but for this, bare hands works a little better. These things kind of want to stick to stuff, and they don't stick to your bare hands almost at all, oddly enough. I don't know why that is, but it's true. So I want to get a hold of one of these guys, just one. And you can see I've already used the kit, obviously, as I said. So I get a hold of one of these, and I pull it out of its packaging, which can be easier said than done. But you can see it kind of looks like a piece of licorice. But it's actually a rubberized material. There's actually a bit of material in there. You can feel the strands. So I want to kind of squish that down. I want to squeeze it into that pointy shape, and I want to work it then in between the tines of this tool. So I just want to work that back and forth until I can get a hold of it. Now, once you can get a hold of it with your fingers, you can pull it through. It's a little easier actually if you use a pair of pliers, but I just want to show you that you can do it by hand. And there we go. Alright, so we've got that guy all the way through there. Now this tool looks a little odd. It's a little hard to tell maybe, but right here at the end it actually is open on the very end right here. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to coat this patch, this plug, with the rubber cement. And I want to make sure it's well coated. That's important because it's got to adhere to the tire. The other thing then is I'm going to plunge it into the tire and then pull it out. And when I pull it out, first of all, when I push it in, I want to leave some of the strands on the outside because this is a fairly big hole. The other thing is I want to pull it out, but as I pull it out, what's going to happen is it's actually going to pull itself off of these little forks here, off of that tine. It'll pull itself right through. So let's go ahead and get this thing buttered up with rubber cement. Alright, there's really no magic here. This is the same kind of rubber cement that you get if you buy it to glue your papers together or stick pictures in a scrapbook or whatever. It's the same stuff, and we just want to make sure it's well coated. I like to just put a little smear, a little slime, a little goo all the way around. That's how I like to do it, and that would be my recommendation because, again, this is going to glue the tire closed, literally, and fill that gap. So we got to make sure we've got a good amount of rubber cement. The other thing is rubber cement actually acts as a lubricant to get the patch, get this plug inside the tire. Alright, so there we go. We got that all lubed up and ready to go. So now before it sets up, we push it in like that. I want to leave some of that out and I want to pull it back out, and there it is. There's my plug. So now I got to give that a little bit of a chance to harden up. We got to let that rubber cement sit, and you know, if you've worked with rubber cement on paper, it takes a few minutes to really set up, so we're going to give that just a few minutes. Alright, so the glue is pretty set up at this point. It's a little tacky, but that's not too bad. It actually will cure better if I cut it off, so I just use a regular pair of end snips. Just get in here, get as close to the hinge as you can. This stuff doesn't cut super easy. And you may have to take more than one chomp at it, but you don't really, you want to be careful about that because you don't want to pull the plug out. So I got the one side, and I'll come back and get the other side. There it goes. And so you see I got that, and it is still just a little gooey, but that'll also help it cure out just a little bit. So it's really setting up nice, but you can see that it is just, I mean, it's almost exactly the same thing as what you'd buy, you know, to glue your papers, as I said. It's just that this stuff doesn't have the nasty smell. They add a scent to the rubber cement these days to make it smell like skunk. And this actually just smells like the original formulation. It works great. Let this set up for a few minutes before you put it back on the car and get pressure on it. But after about 10-15 minutes, she's good to go. Some guys will slap them right together. I tend to like to let it sit. I just find a little bit of curing is not a bad thing. Give the glue a chance to set up, and I just find they tend not to leak that way. You can see from the wear on this tire, actually we were about to get these tires changed. This one actually has a broken belt, and that might be the reason that hole is there. It was probably easier for something to puncture through, but we're going to go ahead and get this tire replaced here. But that's the way that you go ahead and change them. Then we just put it back on the car, and we are aired up to, you know, pressure. We're good to go at that point. So hey, seriously, if I can do this, anybody can. It's not tricky, not difficult. I've seen these kits. Some of them come in that nice little case like that, but I've seen these kits in bubble pack, sort of blister pack that you see on cardboard, and I've seen them at pretty much every auto parts store. I've seen it at Tractor Supply. I've even seen them at places like, you know, regionally here in Ohio, we've got Meijer, or like a Walmart type place. Someplace like that is probably going to have these kits, and you can pick them up, and it's really easy to do. As you can see, you just ream out the hole, slather up your patch, you know, your plug, and put it in, cure it out, snip it off, make sure the glue's cured, air it up to pressure, make sure it's holding, you're good to go. Hey, if I can do this, anybody can. God bless you guys. Hope you enjoy the channel, and check out some of my other videos. Like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. You guys have yourselves a great day. Take care. God bless.